And today I want to cover Zephyr's Tornado. Now, I am not exactly sure why everyone's up in arms about Zephyr's Tornado like it's something new. Like it's been there, it's nothing new, it's there, right? But it's 100% a hot button issue on at least YouTube. So I thought I'd go ahead and just do the wiki on it. Now, there's plenty of people who already put up videos in regards to it, so you really don't need the wiki, I should say. But for those who kind of want to nerd out on exactly what's up with the tornado, I'm going to go ahead and go through the wiki on it. So welcome to Warframe Wiki Wednesday. Once a week we cover a particular topic. This week's topic is Zephyr's Tornado. Now let's go ahead and jump right into it. So tornado, word for word, create deadly tornadoes that seek out and engulf enemies. Tornadoes deal the elemental damage type. They absorb the most. Shoot enemies engulfed in tornadoes to do additional damage. Right. The strength is 50, 75, 100, and then 120 damage at base. The duration is 10, 12, 15, 20 at base. Range is 15, 17, 20, 25 meters at base. Number of tornadoes is 4. The cast time or cast range, there's no cast range obviously, 6 to 9 meters for tornado height. 2 to 5 meters is the movement speed, 5 meters is the pull radius at base, and 100% is absorbed damage distribution. Okay, now as far as the attack itself, now Zephyr forms a maximum of 2, 3, or 4 tornadoes at the location on the aiming reticle over unrestricted range. Tornadoes will prioritize forming on top of enemies within a spawning area of 15, 17, 20, 25 meters around the location and around Zephyr. Once created, tornadoes wander the battlefield, being drawn to enemy presence until they expire in 10, 12, 15, or 20 seconds. The spawn radius is affected by ability range. The duration is affected by ability duration, and the number of tornadoes active in cast range are not affected by mods. Ability synergy is with airburst. The airburst projectiles that travel through tornadoes will increase the affected tornado's height to 9 meters. Zephyr and her allies can attack each tornado to distribute 100% total damage, including critical hits and status effects, from the weapons and abilities to all enemies trapped within a tornado. Critical damage dealt to enemies over a tornado is multiplied by 200%, so it's a 2x multiplier. This multiplier is not affected by mods and applied after any weapon mods. Basically, it's a volt shield, except in Zephyr's case, it would be a bunch of volt shields, right? Tornadoes' visual effects are modified by each elemental damage type. Magnetic damage type and the default physical damage tornado share the same visual effect. So if you hit it with magnetic, it's going to look like it normally looks. It can be recast while active to replace old tornadoes, and tornadoes exhibit numerous unique properties and mechanics as summoned allied AI units. Okay. Now, let's get into some of these attributes. Each tornado is invulnerable to damage. You know, and that makes sense. Intangible and weightless. 6 meters tall and moves at a speed of 2 meters per second. Enemies within a radius of 5 meters. I'm going to come out here and just do it real quick so you guys can see it. Hopefully I don't have funnel clouds on. Cool. So there's 4, right? So, sorry about that. Enemies within a radius of 5 meters from the tornadoes are pulled along its path, becoming disabled from moving or attacking while hovering in a ragdoll state and orbiting the whirlwind. Each tornado inflicts 50, 75, 100, and 120 damage per tick to all enemies within its grasp. Damage ticks occur at the rate of 4 per second. Now, the damage per tick is affected by ability strength, right? So, if you have any strength mods, right, you see the damage per second, it'll actually go up, being at a base of 120. If you have 200% ability strength, you'll be at 240, basically, right? Now, damage per tick is distributed between impact, puncture, and slash physical damage types, with a high chance to proc status from all damage types. Damage diminishes with distance from the center of the tornado. Tornado height, move speeds, and pull radius are not affected by mods. Tornadoes phase through all entities, walls, and objects in the environment, like everything. Tornadoes float and do not require surface to travel between locations. However, if hovering in midair, tornadoes will descend towards the ground to follow AI pathing to reach enemies. Meaning if it's on a hill and it happens to be like a cliff, it'll, kind of descend down to the lower level. It's not just going to straight fall, but it'll descend from the way they're making it sound. If we want to see this in action, let's go ahead and shoot this right here on this little top thing and see what happens. Maybe it might descend. Maybe it might just float down. Nope, it's just moving straight through it. Okay, well, whatever. Alright, so Zephyr can direct the nearest tornado from her aiming reticle toward a location by holding down the zoom key. Which is, I don't know why it says R&B, but that's okay. Causing the affected tornado to move at a speed of 5 meters per second toward its new destination. So, nice. Okay. Let's see. To the new this key cell. If a tornado is directed by Zephyr to move away, the increased movement speed can cause captured enemies to eject away from the pull. Affected enemies spiral near the base or middle of the tornado in a skydiving posture. Trapped by the funnel until it expires. The enemies die, or external forces or other nearby tornadoes cause them to eject away from the tornado's pull. Corpses of slain enemies are also pulled by the tornado. Alright? So there's that. We'll get into funnel clouds here in just a moment. I just wanted to get into damage distribution and adaptation. Now this is the part I think we all need to understand just at least a little bit. We probably don't need to know this, but it's good to know. If a source of damage contains elemental damage types, tornadoes can adapt their damage per tick's physical damage types, impact, puncture, and slash, into one of the following elemental damage types. Cold, pretty much all of them, right? So you got the cold, electricity, heat, toxin. Then you got blast, corrosive gas, magnetic, radiation, viral, right? Each tornado's damage type can be modified by many damage sources, including ranged weapons, melee weapons, abilities, even damage from bullet jumps from Tennos, right, if you got the little mods on, as well as damage from enemy units. Striking a tornado with an unmodified dark dagger will change it to radiation, or if you have a volatile runner that explodes, it'll put blast into the tornado. Each tornado keeps track of the total damage it absorbed. A tornado will only account for the highest elemental damage number on a weapon or ability when determining which elemental type it will adapt to, as well as a total amount of damage it absorbed. As such, shooting a tornado multiple times using a different weapon with a different highest elemental damage number causes the tornado to change its damage type when the stored total damage from one source is exceeded by another. So if I shoot a tornado with I don't know, what's this, corrosive? That seems to be viral. Yeah, I think that's viral, because this is viral. Nope, okay, so corrosive, viral, but as you can see, like, it's not going to change back, because the highest number in there right now is the Brahma, right? Anyway, for example, hitting and they explain it. For example, hitting a tornado with a primary weapon that deals 500 corrosive and then 450 blast damage stores 500 total damage and changes the tornado's type to corrosive. Hitting the same tornado with a secondary weapon that deals 250 radiation 3 times stores 750 total damage, exceeding the previous amount, and changes it to radiation. Nice. Okay. So, okay, that makes sense. So basically, let's say we shoot out some tornadoes, right? And this tornado right here gets hit by whatever this is, right? If I stack up a ton of damage, that's all that damage, right? But if I hit it with a Brahma, right, that's even more damage. So in order to switch it back, I'd have to unload a ton of damage in here just to be able to switch it back, as you can see, right? So once the number has been exceeded by that damage type, then it'll convert over to that damage type. I'm assuming for status and damage. So you want to deal radiation damage, so on and so forth. Once a tornado adapts to an elemental damage type, it cannot revert to its 3 physical damage type by absorbing damage. If the damage type source deals multiple elemental damage type, then the tornado will be changed with the damage type with the highest damage number. If the damage source has equal damage numbers between all of its elemental damage type, then the priority will be given by alphabetical order of the damage type's names. Wow. Okay. A tornado will not deal combined elemental damage by absorbing 2 base elemental types. Right? So if you shoot cold and then heat, it's not going to make blast. Basically. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes on why the internet is tripping over Zephyr. There's this augment called Funnel Clouds. It is a Warframe augment for Zephyr that increases the number of active tornadoes while increasing their size and removes their ability to pick up enemies. Okay? All tornadoes are 50% of their original size and blah 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 blah. Right? Let's go ahead and check out the Funnel Clouds page. Right? This mod can be acquired by attaining a rank of Exalted under Red Veil, or the rank of Flawless under New Loca, and spending 25,000 standing. Let's go ahead and pull up what that is. That is probably on C, if I was to take a guess. And that's not it. Yep, so it's got to be on C. And there we go. Alright, cool. So, Funnel Clouds, which is this guy, right? So, some notes on this. Funnel Clouds adds additional tornadoes, yielding a total of 12 tornadoes per cast at maximum rank. All tornadoes summoned are only 50% of their regular size. Tornadoes can still be guided by the player. Tornadoes will move faster than their non-augmented counterparts. All tornadoes are summoned regardless of the number of nearby enemies. Tornadoes deal as much damage as their full-size tornadoes, just fewer enemies due to their size. Tornadoes will no longer lift enemies off the ground and trap them. Enemies in a ragdoll state will be picked up and flung for a brief moment though. Tornadoes will patrol randomly in all directions and move towards enemies within range. And shooting airbursts at the tornadoes will restore them to their original size. This does not enable them to pick up enemies. Okay. What it says is for tips is Funnel Clouds is well suited with a strength and duration based Zephyr build, as the tornadoes can dish out massive amounts of damage without help from other players' weapons. And also, here's the trivia. A funnel cloud is a funnel-shaped cloud of condensed water droplets associated with twisting columns of wind, and is extending from the base of a cloud but not touching the ground. That's what a funnel cloud is. If you guys ever seen it, it's basically a cloud with a hole in it. It spins in a circle, vortex, something like that. You'll see them on Saturn all the time, or Jupiter. Why is anybody interested in this augment? Well, I have 40% ability strength. Here's 20 Gok stags. And with the right ingenuity, aka some ability to be able to pull enemies in, whether it be larva, ensnare, anomaly, who gives a damn? You do that, you shoot at it, and eventually the enemies will just die. Like, that's basically how that works. If you have more, now this is 40 ability strength. If you have more ability strength, obviously it's going to be much more ridiculous, but that is why everybody's tripping on it, right? So yeah, so I hope this did help you out. Gave you a little bit more insight as to what's going on with these funnel clouds. So yeah, you know, you guys have fun, grab yourself a Zephyr, you know, check out everybody else's videos, use it, see how you like it, let me know how you like it down in the comments, and I will be hollering at you guys for the next piece of content. Alright? Oh, and if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Holla, pimps, players, and hustlers. Peace. Woo! Oh, comment. Hold on. Watakwam Bargab. Hola. All right, peace.